Welcome back, everyone. The time now is 6:47. America's final goodbye to President Jimmy Carter. The 39th president passed away last month at the age of 100. And just over 2 hours from now, dignitaries, loved ones, and members of the public will attend his state funeral.
Today's show's Craig Melvin is at the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C. ahead of the ceremony. And Craig, it looks like thousands of people are braving the bitter cold to say goodbye to a man who dedicated his life to serving others.
Indeed. Renee, Michelle, good morning to both of you. The service here at the National Cathedral will start at roughly 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Right now, the former president continues to lie in state at the Capitol Rotunda. As you mentioned, thousands have paid their respects over the last few days, a service that essentially started on Saturday down in Plains, Georgia. Among those paying their respects yesterday, President-elect Donald Trump, his wife Melania. Over the last few days, we've heard from Vice President Harris, the new House Speaker Mike Johnson as well. Today at the service here at the National Cathedral, though, it will be President Joe Biden who will be eulogizing his longtime friend, a friend of more than 50 years. You may recall 3 years ago, President Biden, Dr. Joe Biden, actually went down to Plains, Georgia to visit Jimmy Carter and his wife Rosalind. And that was when Jimmy Carter actually asked President Biden to eulogize him. So we'll hear from President Biden this morning. President Carter's grandchildren will also be among the honorary pallbearers. Something else that's very interesting, I think folks will find today, we're going to be hearing from Gerald Ford's son. Gerald Ford, of course, the man that President Carter defeated back in 1976. Before President Ford died, he left some words to be shared at the service today. So his son will be remembering Jimmy Carter as well. And so will Walter Mondale's son, Jimmy Carter's vice president. His son will be sharing some words that Walter Mondale actually wrote to be shared at the service today. It will be quite the scene because all of America's former presidents will be here. A number of the first ladies as well will be a part of the ceremony as well. We've actually started to see some folks. In fact, you can probably see a few folks who are starting to file into the National Cathedral. After the ceremony, President Biden, his body will then be placed aboard what's being called Space Air Force 39, a nod to, of course, him being the 39th president. It'll go back to Joint Base Andrews. From Joint Base Andrews in Maryland, he'll be flown back to Plains, Georgia, a private ceremony there this afternoon. He will be laid to rest next to his wife of some 77 years, Rosalind Carter, who of course died back in November of 2023. But it is going to be a day filled with pomp and circumstance. A bit ironic if you think about it, considering Jimmy Carter, not a president known to enjoy pomp and circumstance during his time in the White House here back in the late 70s, guys.
Thank you, Craig. Certainly is going to be a celebration of life. Now, Craig will have more from D.C. as the nation bids its farewell to former President Jimmy Carter. Coming up later this morning on Today. That's right after us here on Today in St. Louis.